we will be in an endless cycle of never-ending conflicts. Sit or get off the pot? Time to grow a spine. The blob needs to be accountable. Either we're at war or we're not. Joining us now, Congresswoman Victoria Spartz of Indiana. She is one of those good acting members who believes Congress should be more assertive and the legislative branch should hit the gym to flex a little more towards the executive branch. Thank you so much for joining us, Congresswoman.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Chanel.
What are your thoughts on this whole this dispersion of responsibility when it comes to funding conflicts overseas? I feel like we've fallen into this lull. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, of course, we're co-equal branches, but Congress is an Article 1 branch for a reason. It's with very significant powers that founding father gave us, powers of the purse and power of the war. And they gave it for a reason, because they understood they didn't want to have executive over king make decision of such a significance, where money and life and Congress completely abandoned, punted, and subrogated its function on every level. I mean, look at the recent Supreme Court ruling, Chevron doctrine. We let executive branch to pretty much legislate on our behalf on all policy, all domestic policies, on foreign policies, on constitutional rights. We completely abandoned our job. Over 70% of our spending, we don't even take a look at it. It's all on steroids, automatic and unauthorized. So this is a fault of Congress. And if Congress is not doing a job, American people have no representations, because there is no lobby for the people over there. We're the only lobby, and we haven't been doing a very good job lobbying for the people. That's why we have this never-ending conflicts, cost a lot of money, cost a lot of blood. We have crises all over the world. And honestly, we haven't had good executives until, President Trump became in charge, and he was tough. I mean, since President Reagan, a lot of foreign policy were terrible. But Congress is not doing a job. We shouldn't give powers to executive as many powers as we do. And we need to put it back on Congress, but it hasn't been done. So I completely agree with you. It's really, I think we need to start governing. People should get rid of all of us, just have a clean slate.
So it's easier for people to, I guess, blame a central figurehead, as I alluded to in the monologue. It's easier for them to blame one person than it is to blame an entire Congress. And Congress infamously has really low approval ratings, but ultimately it's so fragmented. There's, people don't really know how to tackle Congress or criticize it as a body. But you're right. When the executive is so delinquent in its duties to represent America overseas, to actually conduct foreign policy, it behooves the Congress to step up to the plate, because we've certainly had a delinquent executive branch these last 4 years under Biden, a virtually non-existent foreign policy, which is not as it should be. The president should be pretty assertive in his foreign policy stances. But you and a handful of colleagues went overseas. You just got back from a 9-day congressional trip around the world. This is the House Democracy Partnership Commission. You visited some key national security regions. Talk to us about that trip. What were some of your big takeaways coming home?
Well, I think it's important for us when we deal with major Asian policy to see what's really happened on the ground truth. Unfortunately, too many people in Washington, D.C. listen to academics and, surveying what's happening in the country from satellites, not really going on the ground and see the real issues and understand what's happening, listening to 25-year-old college graduates who are running the country. I think, between 25-year-olds and people who've been there for 40 years and lobbies, this is what people is right now writing laws and policy. That's why we're so much in trouble.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.